Right, hello. This is a reply to Savannah Glebe 5163. Okay? I'm just reading it now. And basically, we are replying to a comment that was made on a Douglas Murray video where people have no idea what's really happening in the UK. Now, for the past few days, I have been sending replies back to your message, and they have been getting deleted, so I don't know if you saw any of them, but they keep getting deleted. And I know that there's someone that's monitoring this video that doesn't want me to get my message to the people on that, because every single message that I'm reading on there is basically just everyone's saying it's true. Never a truer statement. I said I disagree. We have both. You don't have a left without a far left without a far right. Extremists on both sides, but you only see this when you can look at both sides equally. Now, you replied, we have looked at it equally, and there's only far left. Now, if you've looked at something equally, then you will see there isn't just far left, there's far right. Okay? As before the Southport riots, and I'll get more into that in a minute, before the Southport riots, you'll remember the Leeds riots. Now, remember them setting fire to the buses and attacking the woman that wanted them to stop, and it was over a family losing the kids, getting them taken away, and everyone was saying the far left. They were far left, that what they were doing was wrong, and then all the police ran away from them. It was two-tier care, all that came out, which was mad. I couldn't believe that was happening. It was ridiculous. And then obviously the summer riots happened, and you know, there's lads doing similar things, but when they were called far right, everyone was like, we're not far right, we're not far right, no, we're just right. And that's simple-minded, right? And that's one of, you're asking me for sorry, what did you say to me? You said you're simple. Oh, really? Which far right shit exactly? I'll wait, right? And let's see, have I replied to it? Yeah, I've replied. So you've obviously got my replies. They were 21 minutes ago from me doing this video. I'm going back to the riots now. Okay, the riot started. There was a local building firm that came down and joined in with the riots. They started kicking down the walls of Southport residents and using those bricks to throw at the cops. Okay, that same building firm came the next day and started to rebuild those walls, and they took credit for doing it, and everyone was made up with them. And then only a few weeks later, people were like, that they're on CCTV kicking them walls down and throwing those bricks at the police. That's far right, and I know them. They're a bad bunch. Everyone knows this building firm, and they're not nice people. Not nice people at all. Then you've got the likes of the hotels that were getting satellite with people still in them. If lefties did that, they would be far left extremists. Okay, but when what you're saying is when right-wing people do it, they're not far right, they're just right. That's basically what you're saying. So if you look at it equally, which I know you're not, but you just don't want to admit it because you're surrounded by people telling you what you want, what they want you to believe or what they want you to see, you're not actually looking at people around you and thinking, is that actually right what they're doing? No, I wouldn't do that. If you think that is right, if you think that setting fire to hotels with people still alive and kicking down local residents the day after they're in mourning because of what happened with the young girls in Southport, if you think that is okay, then I'm sorry, but you're far right. If you think it's not okay and there should have been a better way of doing it, then you're just right. I get it. I was angry. I was fuming. In fact, I was going to go down and show my support for the peaceful protest, but that peaceful protest that was supposed to be happening didn't happen. It got violent Why did it get violent? Because you've got a small minority of far right extremists, just like you get far left extremists. If the lefties go out and start protesting, they always start kicking off. What happens when a peaceful protest gets violent? It's the extremists that are doing it. That's why if you look at other videos, people are saying keep your tempers down, don't lose your minds, just we're here to do a peaceful protest. And when it's peaceful, more people, it gets the word out better. But when you get these idiots that are drunk, throwing bricks through windows, kicking off on people, getting violent with the police, that's extremism. Whether you like it or not, that is extremism. And if they're at a protest, like a right protest, not a lefties protest, yeah, and they start doing that, that means they're more extreme than the ones that just want the peaceful protest. Now, I know everyone's wound up. England's a mess. But when you think you're looking at things equally, when it's obvious to people like myself that you're not, because if you did, you'd realise there is extremism, then there's always going to be a big divide. And like a lot of my videos keep saying, we need to start looking at everything around us and people that are with us. And that video that we're commenting on, whoever's monitoring it doesn't want me to get my message across to you, because they don't want you to start looking at it from a different point of view, because it doesn't work in their favour. They're making money from you getting excited to watch the next video of them telling you what you think you believe. Now, a lot of what's being said is true. It's just they're not letting you see another perspective of that view, because not everything is as it seems. And I'm on the same page as most right-wing people, but some of it is just a bit too far right, if that makes sense. Please get a recorder, send me a video. I want to see your response to this. But I genuinely don't think you're going to reply. I'm going to leave this video on my channel for you to have a look at, and you can have a better understanding of why there is far right extremism. It's on both sides. It doesn't matter if it's about race, if it's politics, if it's food. You know, you get some extremist dietary people that won't listen to you when they're like eating themselves to death, and there's just extremism in everything. So you need to just start looking at the things that are being told to you and start questioning things, and you'll realise that what you think is right is a little bit too extreme. Okay. Now I've lefty friends, and some of the stuff they tell me is just bonkers. Like, I'm like, oh my god, they're just my friends, but we don't talk politics because we just don't agree, and they just cannot understand some of the stuff that I'm saying, and they're always going to be lefties, and you can't change that. But I'm hoping that I can get people to be more awake and more aware and start questioning things. I do get them questioning things, but they're just so far left, they don't want to admit it. It's like a belief they've had for years, and the families have told them to believe it, and I'm just trying to break that cycle, because we need to come together as a community, because otherwise we're just going to keep going downhill. But when you start saying that you've looked at everything equally and there is no far right, and people agree with that, it just scares me that people are simple-minded. You're simple-minded. If you don't think you're simple-minded, that's fine, but when you tell me you're looking at something equally, and I give you examples of things that have happened, had that been lefties, which it has, they are far left. The Leeds riot, far left. The Southport riot, you're saying are not far right. Okay. That, I'm sorry, but that's simple-minded to me. You know, two-tier Kia, I get it. That annoys me, because people aren't being treated the same, but people are doing the same. You know, I'm sorry, yeah. Just think, just question things. Have a better understanding of what's going on around you, and then you'll start to not be simple-minded and easily led by these people that are influencing you into what they want you to believe. honestly. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Hope that's an alright response for you and you understand where I'm coming from.